frosty morning and kind of a beautiful sunrise. I get pulled in here and read a piece I wrote for you, like usual. I've called this piece Honest Bible. It was a typical Sunday morning worship service and everything upbeat until a longtime member interrupted with a loud voice of panicking lament. Stumbling to the front, overcome with emotion, he just got word his adult son had shot himself, attempting suicide. I was saddened at how leaders responded, quickly escorting the man from the sanctuary. Now, to be clear, I don't doubt for a minute the care that was provided once out of sight, and for weeks after that. This was a church of good and generous people. What disappointed me was this urgency to quickly remove the crisis from the public life of the congregation, as if expressions of grief are inappropriate in the house of God. Did they not trust the Spirit of God in the congregation to deal with the bad news? Did they simply not want a downer to kill the happy buzz? Maintain the pretense of bad things don't happen to good people? Whatever the case, the message was clear. The sanctuary is no place to expose your grief. It hurts me to remember a moment missed, hushed, and ushered out. It could have been a powerful ministry/teaching moment, long remembered. Ministry even to who knows how many in the congregation with suicide in their family stories. We can't know now, but we might have healed the stigma and broken generational curses. Instead, we remedied an embarrassing interruption, like this guy should have known better than to make a nuisance of himself in our happy time. What if we had the honesty, though, to acknowledge and enter the deep pain among us? The Spirit of God would be at home in the honesty, and thus a light in the darkness. Instead, even if unintentionally, we gave harbor to the darkness. Much like the man was escorted out, so we often disallow the hard honesty of our Bible. Take the Psalms for an example. 1/3 of the Psalms are Psalms of lament or Psalms of complaint. But you wouldn't know it based on what is read out loud in our congregation. I'm talking about the typical church. The same Psalter that gives us a vocabulary for expressing thanks, praise, and worship also gives us words and phrases for expressing our complaints, our doubts, and our grief, even if we are embarrassed by naked honesty. Psalm 22 would have never made it into our churches had Jesus not vouched for it and personally escorted it in and set it down on the front row. Hung up and nailed down, naked and bled out, Jesus exposes his doubts for all the world to hear as he cries out with a loud voice of lament, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He's quoting Psalm 22. And we gain nothing by watering down Jesus' lament. He's teaching us how to mourn, even to mourn publicly, to forbid the dark pretense, and to let in the light. Our Bible is more honest than we might be on a Sunday morning, honest enough to pause in the shadows without rushing past too quickly, acknowledging the darkness and gathering up a luminous resistance. This opposed to sweeping it under the rug and providing habitation for the darkness and paying its rent. Our Bible is not mere fodder for the pep rally. It's preparing us for reality. There are plenty of honorable highs, but also honest lows that provide ballast for stabilization and keep us from being too shallow, naive, and silly. more freight than frills, and thus earn street cred, trust, and steady of slow momentum. Because the biblical authors are honest with hard questions like why, how long, where are you, God? We can trust they are also honest and knowing when they declare God's faithfulness and steadfast love. We believe the psalmist's recollection of green pastures and still waters because he's forthright about the valley of the shadow. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me. What if confessing the shadows allows for the accompanying presence of God through that dark valley? What if comfort comes with honest confession, honest like our Bible? I hope that was meaningful. Saint up, paddle hard, believe, live.